Well, what do you know? Finally, YouTube fixed something for a change. I no longer have to use that awful software to link up to you. Oh, wow. Finally, I can just do a live stream without running a piece of software to go along with it. This is ridiculous. It's been horrible. I don't like that. Crazy Josh Cravey, if you're here, let me know. Thank you for standing by. Like I said, I had to run an update, and when I ran the update, the computer went back to normal. So, wow. Anyway, if you're out there, Crazy Josh Cravey, thank you for staying with me. I really appreciate it. But anyway, you can see here, I've got my headphones, and I presume I'm online. Let's go ahead and get that done. Yeah. Yep. I guess I'm online. I looked at my phone. I'm online, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for a bit. Perfect. Oh, let's see. Let me invite some people. That's better. Let's see. Okay, now I've let all the important people know that I am back and I am running a live stream tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Lamp's just not quite right. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's fine. Now that we got all the technical difficulties out of the way, as you know, I preserve things forever, and I'm sure some people are going to be watching this going, well, you know. But it is nice. I do not have to use that OBS Studio anymore. For some reason, YouTube decided to upgrade, and I'm sure it's because a lot of people were like, we just want to use our webcam. We do not want to use a special OBS Studio or any other type of software to just run this thing. So that has been fixed, and we're back to normal. Yay! Finally. Okay. So what are we doing tonight? Well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I've got my headphones right here. See my headphones? I am going to review one of the videos that Crazy Josh Cravey did. I saw this posted, I think it was today. I would encourage everybody that's watching me tonight to go ahead and hang on. Okay. I'm going to encourage everybody after this live stream is over with. Hello there, Crazy Josh Cravey. I am glad to see you. I also wanted to let you know that Survival on a Budget Made Easy will not be joining us tonight, mainly because he has no internet right now. He is in the process of moving, so he has no internet. And as soon as he does, he can watch this. He can watch how the technology all failed. And now that we got everything back to normal, hey, we're in great shape. Okay. Now then, having said all that, I've had a pretty rough week this week, but hey, I am okay. And what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to review one of your videos, Crazy Josh Cravey. I'm also going to review a video from Survival on a Budget Made Easy. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys some homework tonight. I'm going to give you guys some homework. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to give us some homework? Yep, I am going to give you guys some homework. So let's go ahead and review one of your videos. This one is Quarantine Insanity. I'm going to go ahead and watch it now. And then I'm going to ask you some questions. No sound. Why? Why am I getting any sound?
So I've been doing a lot of art.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that Molly Jane Quaddy is joining us tonight because I'm going to ask her some questions as well because she's in this video. So hopefully we can. You said you were doing. Now, this is a question from Molly. You said you were doing some art. What kind of art were you actually doing? Were you painting? Were you sculpting? Were you taking a hammer and chisel and knocking down, chipping off a piece of rock until it formed a head or something? I want to know what you were doing. Okay, you said you were doing gardening. What were you planting? Were you planting squash? Were you planting watermelons? Were you planting tomatoes? Were you planting potatoes? What were you? Or maybe you're just planting flowers. Maybe you're planting Venus flytraps. I don't know. So let me know what you're planting. What does it mean for an exam to be proctored? I've never heard that one before. I did go to college, but I've never had an exam that was proctored. That's a new term for me. So of course you got to keep in mind I went to college between the latter part of 1989 and 1992. So proctored's kind of a new term for me. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Who knows? Of course, I took a lot of computer classes, so you never know. Anyway, open book tests. In the old days, I would have said, hey, that's cool. An open book test, that is cool. The only reason why I say no now is because I have the speed reading and the memory techniques, and I've gone through this many a time on my YouTube channel. And when you have the speed reading and the memory techniques, you really don't need an open book, man. You just remember everything. And I'm sure a lot of you people have. ILR SNC says, hello, speed learner. Hello. I'm glad you were able to join us. And like I said, I'm sure you guys watch at least some, if not more, of my memory videos. And if you've watched those and you've learned all the techniques I've taught you, well, then shoot, tests are so easy after that. You don't really need the book. Just put the book aside and go on, Audrey Young. Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes. So I will be handing you guys homework later on tonight. So hang in there. I don't know how long I'll be on, and I have my water bottle here, so I'll be drinking from time to time. So hang in there, folks. But I am currently, for those of you who do not know, I am actually watching a video by Crazy Josh Cravey, and I am reviewing it right now, asking questions, etc. So I'm going to go through this. Oh, Audrey Young. Now that we've gotten to your part, question for you. What are you majoring in? I'd like to know. Well, I can personally tell you that I did not go to my senior prom for extenuating circumstances, and I won't go into all that. But I could certainly comprehend how this could be a life altering experience, But the thing is, you have to keep in mind there'll be plenty of formal events in college that you can go to. And it's sort of like you just have a backup plan just because you didn't go to this particular one event. And I'm sorry, I really feel bad for it. I really feel bad for your situation. I really do. And you're not the first. I have a friend of mine. Her daughter cannot go to prom this year, and I really feel awful about that. But in life, you're going to find out that there's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. I remember when I went to my graduation, because of circumstances that a lot of people didn't know, and I'm not going to go into them. I more than dreaded going to graduation than enjoyed it. I really didn't enjoy graduation at all. I really didn't. But I'm not going to go into exactly why. Maybe someday I will, but right now I just rather not talk about it. It was just a bad deal for me, and maybe someday I'll get on here and talk about it, but just not right now. And so times weren't that great for me back then. They're a lot better today than they were back then. Personally, I would have rather just received my diploma in the mail and just went on. I do miss my friends, and I did get a chance to. I have seen them from time to time. I'll go as far as say that I do see them from time to time. I'm able to visit with them. So, what you can experience in high school, you might get a chance later on, and you might have more fun later on because your circumstances change. But I can certainly comprehend how this is making you feel, and I'm sorry, I really am. But I want you to know something. I congratulate you on graduating high school, and I keep this in mind. This is the most important thing. High school does not. You don't stop learning just because you get out of high school. That's just silly. That's really silly. I'm telling you what, as soon as I got the speed reading and the memories techniques, I accelerated. Yeah, I see that. Audrey Young says I'm graduating this year. Congratulations. But keep in mind, this is something I often tell people when I talk to them face to face. And I don't get a chance to do that right now, but when I talk to them face to face, this is what I tell them. I say, you're a senior in high school. As soon as you go into college, you're going to be a freshman again. And as soon as you become a senior in high school, you're going to be on the bottom floor of a job. When you get to the top, then you got to go and retire. And when you get to the peak of retirement, well, I think you can finally figure out what's happening next. I don't even want to go into that, but you finally figure out just every time you go to the top, you're going right back down again. It's just inevitable if you really think about it. But the best thing you can do is learn the accelerated learning program that I offer here. And then one of the things I'd like to do is to see just one student, just one, accelerate their minds the way I have, then go through college, spend like 2 hours absorbing all the information you need, go in, take the test, and then go party. I wanted to do that in college. I really did, but I did not have a full mastery of the memory techniques and the speed reading. If I had had the full mastery, I just walked in, bingo, bango, I'd have passed all those tests, I'd have had straight A's, and then on top of that, I would have had party after party after party. But again, because of extenuating circumstances, I just didn't get a chance to do that. One of the biggest ones was I had to go to work all of a sudden. I mean, I was not the richest kid in school. I wasn't the poorest either, but I wasn't the richest, I can tell you that. And so I had to actually go to work right away to support myself. And that wasn't easy. You try to have a full-time job and then try to go to college at the same time. It doesn't always work, especially if you're in retail and they want you to work these odd hours. See what I mean? So if you're working all these odd hours, you're not going to have time to study or do much of anything else. And they don't really factor that in when they're trying to make you into a full-time person. And you have to work full-time. At least back then you did. Or you didn't get your health insurance. You didn't get anything. You got nothing unless you work full-time. And I had to work it. It just wasn't a good deal. But anyway, that never stopped me from learning. Not at all. But anyway, let's go on here. Okay. How many dogs do you have? Again, I'm asking Audrey Young. How many dogs do you have? And what's their favorite food and their favorite toys? Love to know. Well, looks like you've planted quite a garden. Now, did you find Hidden Valley Ranch? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's this first thing popped in my. I bet you found Hidden Valley Ranch. Well, you guys know after watching my sign videos that I have found the middle of nowhere several times. So if I can find the middle of nowhere, people can find Hidden Valley Ranch. Of course, then again, if they find it, then it's not hidden anymore. So. Just kidding. Just kidding. But anyway, just a little fun. I thought I'd cheer you up a little bit. Anyway, let's go on. Well, first of all, happy birthday. Secondly, you probably had a better birthday than I did, okay? Number one, I was sick. Number two, it was colder than dirt. Okay, listen, February birthdays are around Illinois are usually cold and wet and miserable. Once in a great while, you get a warmer birthday. Not very often. And I'll tell you, when you're colder than dirt and then you get sick on top of that, that's no fun. And this year's birthday, here I had just celebrated my 50th birthday. Think about that. I was the big 5-0. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. It was miserable. So hopefully that made you feel a whole lot better. I know you didn't get to do your plans either, but at least it wasn't like you're cold and you're sick all at the same time. That I know it was pretty wet that during that period of time too. It was just downright miserable. So yeah, I rarely, if ever, get a good birthday. That's rare. That's when I know 99% of the time I will try to make a sequel birthday just to make up for the birthday that got really lousy, and that was it. So yeah. So if that made you feel better, I'm glad. It didn't make me feel any better, but hey, it made you feel better. I'm thrilled. Okay. So anyway, you're luckier than I am. Believe me. I know it's hard to handle that, but it's actually true. So anyway, just remember you can always make your birthday up. Trust me on this. I've done it myself, and I know you can do the same thing. So don't let it get you down. If you have to postpone your birthday and do it when this whole thing's over with, I want you to do it. I encourage you to do it. Be bold. A lot of times I'll take these sign trips, and that's when I really will celebrate my birthday. Because, hey, at least it's summertime. I'm not sick or anything, so there you go. Crazy Josh Cravey says we're actually planning to have a makeup birthday for the three of us together. That's it right there. Very good. Exactly. Yeah, because nothing's worse than being sick and then having a cold, miserable birthday at the same time. I've actually had to shovel snow on my own birthday more than once. Do you know what it's like to be sick and then have to shovel snow at the same time? It's miserable. Yeah. So hopefully that made you feel just a little bit better. I'm just trying to make you feel as great as I can, because I'll tell you what, I know what that's like. I can relate totally. All right, let's continue on here. Well, um, I understand how you feel about your camp. I wanted to tell you guys what's been happening here in Illinois, just briefly. The Decatur celebration has been canceled, so I won't be able to videotape the Razzle Dazzle Good Time Parade. I won't even be able to interact with the people that were going to be a part of the Razzle Dazzle Good Time Parade. The Assumption Festival, they have that. You remember last year I videotaped the Assumption Fest because the Stonington Summerfest got rained out? It's been canceled. There's a good chance the Stonington Summerfest won't happen either. And even if it does, that particular week, I am supposed to go to Nauvoo, Illinois. I may not even be able to do that. This will be the first time in 11 years that I have missed a sign hunt. Do you know what that's like? Because you say, well, wait a minute, why can't you just go? I mean, it's just a sign. You go and you videotape it, you read it aloud, and whatever. Okay, well, here's the problem. If the restaurants are closed and the parks are closed, where am I going to eat? I can buy the food, no question about it. I can go through drive-thru and buy the food. That's not the issue here. The issue here is, where am I going to go to eat the food? I'm going to sit there in the car, and where am I going to park so I can eat? It won't happen. It just won't happen. And if one festival after the next gets canceled, what am I going to videotape all summer long? Probably nothing. Do you have any idea what that's going to do to my YouTube ratings? Not to mention the fact, not even be able to do anything. Listen, they give me occasionally a day off just to, because they have to. I mean, I've been with the company that I've been with right now. I've been there for almost 20 years. So they do give me time off. They kind of have to squeeze it in because I'm a very important person to that company. And so I can't just, take a whole week off. And I technically I could, but it would kind of mess everything up. And so it's really better that I don't take a whole week off. I just take a couple of 3 days here or a couple of days there, whenever I can fit it in. And that way they don't have to try to find a replacement for me. I'm kind of doing that as a favor to make sure that they don't have to find somebody to take my place over a long period of time. A couple of days, that's no big deal, but you take off a week or 2 weeks, that could be a very big deal. And I don't want to do that to them. So I take a day or two off here or a day or two off there, and I do whatever I have to do. But think about it. I may not have a single thing to videotape this year. Nothing. That's real relaxing. I like festivals. I may not be able to go at all. So I can definitely comprehend what you're going through. I really can. So let's go on. DM Gaming. Hi, I'm new. No speak English. LOL. Okay. Well, welcome DM Gaming. The way I'll say it is this. I've always been a book person, and for a long time I had to be for reasons I won't get into. I know you guys are like, well, wait a minute. There's certain chapters in your life you don't really cover very well. I have reasons not to cover them, and I'm not going to explain them, but there are reasons. But I've done a lot of book reading over the years, and with me being an essential worker and working all the hours I do, I really don't have time to do the kind of reading I wanted. Now here's the thing. I don't mind being an essential worker. I really don't. That's not the issue here. It's just it takes away from what I normally do, which is to read, to study, to make the videos that I make for you guys. Just remember, every time you watch one of my videos, whether I've done things live or not, every time you watch something, you will learn something. And DM Gaming asks, you excited for 2K? What do you want me to be excited about? I mean, what is it that you think I should be excited about? Give me an example. What specifically do you want me to be excited about? Because I don't know what to be excited about. I mean, to me, videotaping signs, going to parades, and ultimately learning and teaching all of you, which really, it's not just that I learn. My learning would just bore the heck out of, okay, subs. Oh, am I excited for getting it to 2,000 subs? I am excited for getting to 2,000 subs, but I would much rather see my watch time go up. That I really would like to see. I would like to see you guys be able to do what I do. Let me tell you something. People think I just want you guys reading all the time. That's not it, because that's not really what I'm trying for. Is to get you guys to just learn all the time. Although that'd be nice, but that's not the goal. The goal is to absorb information quickly, have it inside of you. That way, you can take a test with the greatest of ease, and then go out and party afterwards, while all these other yahoos are struggling. Think about it. What if you go into a college test, say study for 2 or 3 hours, a week or two ahead of time, take 2 or 3 hours, study for it, know it like the back of your hand, walk in there, get a straight A, and then maybe like the night before the party, the night before the test, you go out and party. And you knowing full well you're gonna make that A. That's where I want you to be at. You don't have to cancel your party plans because the next day you have to take a test. Go know your stuff real quick, and then go out, take your test, and of course you can have the party at the same time. Why put your life on hold for a test? There's no need. And that's why I'm trying to show you how to do that. What is the best way to tell your parents you have a bad grade? Well, the best way, I'm in middle school. Well, the best thing you can do is not have a bad grade in the first place. And you say, well, how do you pull that off? Well, as I have been telling you since the beginning of my channel, use Harry Lorraine's memory techniques, use the speed reading that I showed you. I actually have a video that shows it's navigating my YouTube channel 2019. After I show you how to operate the various parts of my YouTube channel, then I have a video. I have a link up on the very top of the screen. You click that, and it will show you how to speed read, and it will tell you to read Harry Lorraine's memory book. And then after that, I want you to watch my 54 memory videos. Now, if after watching all that and learning from Harry Lorraine, you still struggle, come to me and I will help you out, and I will continue to help you until you're making A's all the time. because I want to help. I want you to get out of that. I don't want you to ever have to struggle. And if I'd have had that when I was younger, I wouldn't have struggled at all. I'd have been promoted from grade to grade, and my life would have been completely different. I don't know, it would have been perfect, but it would have been completely different. But that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to ever have a bad grade. I want you to always have good grades. And I'm showing you a method to do that. And I will work with you. I will work side by side with you until you master it. That's the best part. I will be side by side with you until you pull it off. You got a real friend here. I'll work with you night and day until you pull it off. That's the way I am. You show me something too hard to remember, and I'll show you an easy way to remember it. For instance, okay, how many of you remember Star Wars? You know, Star Wars: A New Hope? Remember old Luke Skywalker? Do you remember his little costume? Okay. Now, you remember how his costume was white? Remember that? Well, a leukocyte is a white blood cell. So if you can imagine Luke with his white suit on, that's half of it right there. Now, what about the word sight? Okay, let's just imagine that Luke's blind in the movie. I know he wasn't blind in the movie. Let's just imagine that Luke was blind in the movie the whole time. He was just blind as a bat. Can you imagine him waving that lightsaber while he's blind as a bat? That'd have been funny. Anyway, but then you say, well, you have to remember it's a cell. Okay, let's imagine that blind Luke landed in a jail cell. That's all you need to know. That outrageous picture of a blind Luke Skywalker in a jail cell is enough to remember what a leukocyte is. Huh. I bet you won't forget that now. Okay. Anyway. Oh, you never see? Okay. I want you, if you have Disney Plus, or if you can get a hold of a DVD of Star Wars, I want you to watch that movie. I want you to do it. That way you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have to, there's clips of that movie all over YouTube. Trust me, there are photos of what Luke Skywalker looked like in A New Hope all over the internet. You can go look them up. Do it. That is my homework to you tonight. I want you to do that. Go do it. You want a friend that stuck by you? Well, I'm sticking by you now. I'm telling you to go do it. Go do it. Do it now. Don't worry. You can still watch me while you're doing this. Go for it. Oh. I think you found it. I think you found it. Cool. Here's the thing. I had the VHS despecialized editions. The like one you showed in your video, a long time ago. You had the VHS copies of the despecialized edition. I've watched those. I used to watch that on TV. Believe it or not, I actually watched The Empire Strikes Back in the theater. We used to have a movie theater called the Rogers. I'm going to take this off for a second. It's making my ear sore. But we used to have a movie theater called the Rogers. Of course, it burnt down, and I'm sorry it did. But anyway, I went in there and I watched The Empire Strikes Back at the Rogers. As for Return of the Jedi, I think I either ended up going to the General Cinema. I know I went to the General Cinema to watch Time Bandits. I don't know if you've ever seen that one or not, but I actually went to the General Cinema to watch Time Bandits. But there was also another movie. I think it was Return of the Jedi. I think I saw that at the General Cinema. If not there, it was probably at the AMC theater we had. We had it, then we didn't have it, then we had it back. I know that's weird, but that's how it went. But anyway, Those two I got to watch in the movie theater, the real movie theater. And because General Cinema only had 3 screens, and as for the Rogers, they only had 1 screen. Can you imagine going to a movie theater that only has 1 screen? That's it, and whatever movie's showing there it is. Oh, well, then I can actually say that shortly after Star Wars was released in the theaters, it wasn't like maybe 3 or 4 years later. I think it was, well, let's see. Star Wars came out in 77. I would say about 80, 81. They actually started showing that on TV, and that was the first time I actually watched it. And I, now, you got to keep in mind, back in my day, they used to release a movie, wait about 6 or 8 months, and then release it again, and you could watch it, like that. And even though watching Star Wars on TV, it was all commercialized, well, what the hey, they hadn't changed anything yet. So, like I said, I think it was about 80 or 81, we got to watch Star Wars on television. And I got to watch it that way. So, yes, I have seen the original trilogy in its truest form on television. You got to keep in mind that television back when I was a kid was 3 channels. Well, okay, 4. Okay. We had a TV station in Decatur, 1 in Springfield, 1 in Champaign, and 1 in Urbana. And that was it. Okay. We did not have cable television in our home until I moved out of my home and I moved from Moweaqua to Decatur. That was the first time I actually really had cable. A lot of people will talk to you about the early days of Nickelodeon and MTV, even the Weather Channel. Yeah, I was a stranger to all that until, I had heard about them, certainly. And my brother, how do you remember times tables? Because I haven't. I only remember 2, 5, 10, and 3. Okay. All right. I'm going to teach you something right now. Okay. It's time to go into teaching mode. All right. Look at your computer keyboard. I want you to go to the right-hand side. You see where it says numlock, and you have the backslash and the star, the asterisk, and your like your hyphen and your plus sign and all those numbers there. Do you see that? You're on a phone. Great. Okay. Shoot. Boy. This is why I don't like smartphones. Yeah, okay, you're on a phone, and Audrey is on a phone. DM Gaming's also on a phone. Oh god, this is gonna be okay. Okay. Pull up a photo of a computer keyboard. Pull up a photo of a computer keyboard. Do it right now. Pull it up. And on the right-hand side, you're going to see exactly what I described. You're going to see all 9 digits. See, numbers are actually called digits. Okay. You'll see the numbers 1 through 9. You'll see the numlock, the backslash, the asterisk, the hyphen, the plus sign, so on and so forth. Do you both see that? Please tell me you both see that. Okay. All right, you do. Good. All right. Now, I'm going to go through the times tables starting with the number 2. Okay. Now, I want you to follow the number. Okay, good. Very good. All right. Now, I want you to follow this diagonally. Now, I want you to go from 2 to 4, then skip over 6 to 8, and then you look at the 0. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, which will represent 10. Okay, and you will actually have, because 2 times 6 is 12, you already know that 10 digits in your head. Okay, so you already know this is going to be 10. Then it's actually going to be 12. We get done. Okay, but the 2 of that 12 is right there on your keyboard, and you're going to go diagonally 2, 4, 6, 8, and 2, 4, 6, 8 again and again and again, because it's 12, 14, 16, 18, and then you go to the 0. You're probably not getting this, and I understand. Let me show you. This is how you're going to visualize this. Whoops. Yuck. I have a video about this. I've never really specifically said which one. I believe it's in my elementary mathematics. If not, let me know and I'll try to do a better one. But anyway, here's what I'm wanting you to do. Up like this, and then there's a little 0 down here. You're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Are you getting the idea now? Now you can do this with all of them. And I'll explain that in just a second. Let me erase that. You say, well, how do we do that with the number 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 54, 57, and 60. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm on a laptop, but I can still kind of do it. Good. That's exactly what I want you to do. All right. What about 4? This is easy. Looky here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You're literally going like this. It's a reverse diagonal. 4 to 8, 12 to 16, and 20. 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And so on and so forth. Like that little trick? So, well, what about number 6? Wow. How about this? 6, 12, 18, 24. Down like this, down like this. You betcha it does. I'm going to show you how that works too. Hold on. This is why they call me the speed learner. Now do you get it? Okay. Ready? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70. You're just literally going down, down, down. Like that one, huh? What about number 8? Huh. Eight, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. Audrey Young says, whoa! Does it work for 9? You betcha it works for 9. You're going to love this. Just think of what you can do now. Let's go backwards. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. Who needs a finger? There it is. It's right there on your keyboard. Now, if anybody ever asks you on a keyboard what that section of keys is all about with the numbers and everything as I was describing, that's called a numeric keypad. Remember that name, numeric keypad. You tell them you're going to type with a numeric keypad. Very important for you to know because you want the terminology to be precise. The more precise your terminology, the smarter you sound, the better chance you have to get a job. You identify that section of the keyboard, the right-hand side of the keyboard, as a numeric keypad. Very important for you to do. Okay? So, repeat after me. Numeric keypad. Numeric keypad. Very important. Don't forget. Congratulations, you are now 10 times smarter than you were when you first met me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so glad I was able to help you. Victory! That's what I'm talking about. How do you remember all the elements? Boy, that is. Well, okay. You'll have to read Harry Lorraine's memory book. I want you to focus on the peg system and the link system. Those are the only two things that are really that important in Harry Lorraine's memory book. The rest of it, nice to know, but not really all that important. But the peg system and the link system are very, very important. And if you read both sections, you'll comprehend what I'm going to say next. Boy, I had this in a video, right? There was... And I would assume that company is still in existence. It was called the Altom Trucking Company. Now, I took the first two letters, this AL, and that's aluminum. Okay. Now, if you know how to use the peg system, the T and the M are very significant because they will spell out number 13. In order to understand that, you're going to have to read the PEG system of Harry Lorraine's memory book. As soon as you figure that out, it's aluminum, number 13. So if you can remember the Altom Trucking Company of Illinois, by golly, you can remember aluminum and the number 13. How do you remember aluminum? How do you know that that's aluminum? Well, just imagine one of their trucks wrapped in aluminum foil. That's all you need. Bet you never thought about that, huh? And you can do this for literally every element in the periodic table. You're going to have to work on that a little bit. I will give you that. It won't come easy. I didn't say it would come easy, but you can do this. And I'd be ashamed if you didn't try. Try to do it. This is why I did the memory videos the way I did. That's how you do it. I want you to do that. This is how you start beating the teachers. Do your teachers tell you to do that? Heck no. But I'm telling you, this is how you do it. All right. Now then, I'm going to give you guys some homework tonight. First of all, I want to tell Crazy Josh Cravey I loved your video, and you didn't really have a whole lot of material for me to ask you questions. I was able to ask Molly some questions, and I was able to ask Audrey some questions, but I really wasn't able to ask you particularly questions because you didn't really give me anything to ask. I guess what I could have done, and I probably should do this, is you were in a wooded area. What kind of wildlife did you see as you were making that particular video? I would love to know that. Were there any lakes near? When is the next stream? Now, the next stream will be Sunday. Okay, I'm going to do one Sunday night. There are some important things I need to teach my more adult audience, but I will be more than happy to help you as well. So I do want you to let me have just a little bit of time to teach my adult audience some things, because there's some eye-opening stuff I need to tell them. And that's why I'm going to give you guys some homework tonight for them. You could do it too if you want, but for my more adult students, I need to give them some homework because there's some things that they are not being told, and I want them to start looking into this. Okay. Now, the first thing I want you to do, and I'm going to start with this. I'm going to go ahead and give you a lesson. Let's see. Okay. Oh, don't do that. No, I don't want that. There we go. Good. Here we go. It's taking a little while to load up. Not much wildlife, but I was near Lake Goodwin in Stanwood, Washington. I bet that was beautiful. Okay, thank you very much, DM Gaming, because there is some very important information that I will present in Sunday's live stream that's very, very important. I will also, at that time, review another one of Survival on a Budget Made Easy's videos. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to do all at the same time. But one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight, and it's very, very important, it's one of those things that they're not telling you the rest of the story. This is what I don't like about the news outlets. They tell you a story, but they don't tell you the whole story. And I don't like when they don't tell you the whole thing. And that's something I'm going to be covering on Sunday. First time watching, I enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much. And Dinho. Hello. Okay. Audrey, please don't leave just yet. I need to give you some homework. Okay. This is very important. I hope that Molly will do this. I hope that you, Crazy Josh Cravey, will do this. Anybody here who's watching me right now, I hope you will do this. Okay. Now then, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you a link. I want you all to look up this link right here. Very important. Okay. Now, I know you probably have seen this link many times on the news. Now, you're going to you're going to learn something about this. You really are going to start learning something about this. Now, let me try to remind you guys of a couple of facts. Okay. Do you guys remember New Year's Eve? How many of you guys have watched year after year after year? And as a kid, I watched year after year. I used to watch it with Dick Clark. You remember how they had the Times Square ball fall down and boom, there was New Year's Eve. And you always watched all these big crowds. And this was the same thing when 2019 became 2020. That was about 3 months ago. You watched the huge crowds in New York City. Do you remember that? That's a fact that you need to remember for the rest of your life. It's very important you remember that. Okay, now, the other thing is, now I know a lot of you people weren't even around when 9/11 took place. I was. I will tell you, I was just getting ready for work when that suddenly popped up on the television, and that was a pretty scary experience. But do you remember how they had all these articles of people being exposed to asbestos? You see the commercials all the time where you've been exposed to asbestos because of 9/11, and if you have, then you can file for a lawsuit or whatever, settlement or whatever. You've seen this, okay? Now let me tell you something. That whole thing happened in New York's financial district. That is true. Okay, Crazy Josh Cravey was 2 years old when 9/11 happened. Okay, I was. Well, that was 2001. That was about roughly 20 years ago. So I was, if not, I'm thinking I was like 31 years old. 31. Okay. I think that's right. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was right. But keep in mind that when those towers fell, all that asbestos went everywhere. And yes, they did clean up the financial district. There's no question about that. But it didn't just stay in the financial district. It went all over New York City, including the little shadier parts of town, too. Do you think that the people of New York cleaned that area up just as well as they did the financial district? Not necessarily. Okay, and there were a lot of people in that poor side of town that breathed in that asbestos just as much as the ones that did it in the financial district. Did you ever think about that? Now, they didn't show symptoms right away, obviously, because eventually some of these people had cancer and died. Okay, you've seen the news stories. Well, this guy, after so many years, he developed cancer and finally he died. And they traced it back to 9/11. You've seen the stories. If you don't believe me, you can look these up for yourself. And that's part of your homework for tonight. I want you to look those stories up. Now, you think about that. You've got people that have been compromised in New York City because of 9/11, and now they've been exposed to COVID-19. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think? Better think about that. Very important. Now, let me show you something. Let's contrast New York City to Chicago, Illinois. I got to zoom in a little bit. Now, I'm sure every day you hear Andrew Cuomo and how many people perished and how many people have the COVID-19 in his city. Well, of course, Andrew Cuomo is the governor, but Bill de Blasio is the mayor of New York City. And you hear this all the time about the number of people that have COVID and the number of people that have died from COVID. Okay. Well, let's focus on Chicago. All right. Chicago has 2.2 million people. Think about that. 2.2 million people. How many people have COVID in Chicago right now? 12,472. Now, of course, this is going to change. I didn't say it wouldn't. 399 of those 12,000 people have perished from this. All right. If you take the number 399 and you divide it by 12,472, let's just do that, shall we? All right. Get the numbers here. 399 divided by 12,472. That is 3%. 3% of the people who get COVID in Chicago perish from it. Just 3%. Now you say, well, wait a minute, that's a pretty big number. Not really. I mean, it's not a good number. I didn't say it was a good number. That anything that perishes is not a good number. It's not good at all. I didn't say that. But I'm saying to you, you have a better chance. I'll answer that in just a second. Give me a second here. You have a better chance of perishing by being struck by lightning than going through this. You have a better chance of perishing in a car accident than going through this. Think about it. But here's a better number. Okay? Now, let's see. Let's try this. You have 2.2 million people. That's 2,200,000. Okay? And let's clear that off. Okay? Let's go with the let's start with 12,472. That's the number of cases in Chicago right now. 12,472. I'll say it again. 12,472, and you're going to divide that by 2,200,000. Okay. You're going to divide the number 12,472 by 2,200,000. What do you get? 0.5% of the population of Chicago, according to these statistics, have been contaminated by the coronavirus. That's not even calculating the number of deaths. So, I hate saying that word. I really do, because I really like to say perish. Okay, the number of people that have perished, 399, divided by 2,200,000. Okay, less than 1/100% of the population of Chicago have perished from the coronavirus. Think about that. You have a better chance of winning the lottery, perishing from being struck by lightning, or perishing from a car accident than you do from getting this coronavirus in Chicago. I want you to think about that. That's very important for you to think about. Now, I'll give you more in just a second, but I want to go ahead and answer DM Gaming's questions. Okay. Current currently I have all the original Mega Man games, Mega Man's 1 through 8. I have not successfully played 7 or 8 yet, but I have played 1 through 6. I have the first 6 Mega Man X games, and I have played 1 through 4 thoroughly all the way through. Okay, Molly Jane Boy. Molly Jane Quaddy, she has just come on. Welcome. I think I pronounced your name right this time. Molly Jane Quaddy, hello. And she said she was 1 year old when 9/11 happened. Okay. And believe me, I'm kind of glad you don't remember all that. Okay. Molly says, yes, you did. And Crazy Josh Cravey says, hey, Molly. And Molly says, hey. And Audrey Young says, hi, Molly. So we're having quite a party here tonight. But these are the things they're not telling you in the news. Audrey Young says, I wasn't born yet. I'm glad you weren't, because I'm telling you, it was quite a nightmare back then. Molly says, hi to Audrey. Great. But here, like I said, here's the thing. They're not telling you this in Chicago. Chicago is radically different than New York City. They have a serious situation. There is no question about that. But the situation in Chicago is not near what it is in New York City. So think about this for a second. Why would New York be worse than Chicago? Well, Chicago didn't have a ball drop. They had a party, but not a ball drop. 2, they did not have 9/11 happen in their city like the people did in New York. There is actually a difference between what happened in New York and what happened in Chicago. Now, that's not to say that either situation is good, because neither one of them are good. But I'm just saying, there you go. Okay. DM Gaming says same as Indiana. Okay. Now, other games I have actually played. I have played the first 4 Super Mario games. That would be Super Mario's 1, 2, and 3, and also the Super Mario World. I played it too. And Legend of Zelda, I have played the first, the second, the Link to the Past, and I have played through quite a bit of the Ocarina of Time. But I've ran into some difficulties with that. And so there you go. Can you guys give me just 1 second? I'll be right back. I need to pause for just a second. Would you give me a second, please? Be right back. Thank you for giving me a second there. Well, hi, everyone. Hi to you as well, DM Gaming. What I wanted to say to you people, there is also another thing I want you to keep in mind. On March 15th, Mayor Bill de Blasio was still encouraging people, and I'll have a link to that on Sunday. I'll show you that one. He was still encouraging people to continue their daily lives the way they had always done, even in the midst of this COVID disaster. What was different about Illinois? Pritzker gets on the air just before that, and he shut down Illinois. Basically, he just shut it all down. Okay, I can't say it any differently. He just literally shut the whole thing down. Now think about that. There was a difference between what happened in New York and what happened in Chicago, and the difference is that Pritzker shut the whole state down before de Blasio and Cuomo shut New York down. Think about that. That's something very important to remember. There are other things I'm going to cover Sunday as well, and you're going to be shocked. You're going to be really shocked about some of the things I'm going to cover. These are important things. DM Gaming asks, do you have the original Xbox? I have been a Nintendo fan all my life. I just, other gaming systems just never appealed to me because I liked Mario, I like Zelda, I like Mega Man, I like Dig Dug, I like very old games like Donkey Kong, not Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong. Okay, I like Donkey Kong. I like Spy Hunter, very old games. I am very much a Burger Time. You know, every time I think of Burger Time, I also think of Burger Chef. And in case you have never heard of Burger Chef, I want you to look that one up too. Look up Burger Chef. Specifically, I want you to go to YouTube and look up Burger Chef Monster Records. Okay? Because what you type into a Google search box is keywords. And those keywords are matched with, not hashtags. I mean, they could be matched with hashtags, but the word doesn't come to me tonight. That's one bad thing about working at night. Well, working the way I do is that okay, it's not hashtags. They match them up with tags. Period. Okay, they match keywords with tags. The needle drop says Yout and Lull. Okay. You the man, Ted. I'm glad I am. Okay. Do I have a Nintendo Switch? No, I do not. Here's my feelings on that, and I know that some people might disagree with me on this, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. When you're me too, okay. The needle dropped off says me too. Okay, good. But the thing is, when you're paying bills the way I do, and you're doing a lot of electronic equipment, you rebuild these laptops, you experiment with Linux and all this other stuff. My feeling on the Nintendo Switch is when it costs you more to pay for your Nintendo Switch than what it would do to pay for 6 months of car insurance, you pay your 6 months of car insurance. That's what you do. See what I mean? I don't like debt. I stay out of it as much as I can. Right now, I am in no debt whatsoever. Period. None. Zip. Zero. No debt at all. And I want you guys to learn to do the same thing. I'm not in car debt, house debt, none of it. I owe nobody anything. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that through this channel. And that's why I want you guys to start watching my videos and learning from me. This is the kind of stuff that can keep you out of debt permanently. Why do I want you to learn Italian? Not because I want you to learn Italian. That has nothing to do with it. Because the principles of learning Italian then go into Latin. Why would I ever want you to learn Latin? There's one reason and only one reason. When you have to read books, let me see if I can find one here. Aha. When you have to read books like this, and this is called The Greco-Roman World of the New Testament by James S. Jeffers, you do not want to stop every 5 seconds to try to look up a word. You don't. You want to be able to. The needle drop says, I owe you for teaching me so much. How do I get out of this debt? Simple. Once you have learned everything I'm teaching you on this channel, then you put those skills to good use. You get yourself a higher paying job, and the extra income you're earning Don't spend it. Pay off your debt and then never get into it again. That's how you do it. DM Gaming asks, can you build a PC on camera or rebuild one? Actually, I have videos. If you search hard enough on my channel, I think it's in my computer technology. One of my playlists will have those videos that actually shows you not only how to build 2 PCs, I built 2 of them, but I also took out a hard drive in my laptop, replaced it, and put Ubuntu Linux in it. So there are videos on that. Look through my playlist, and if you can't find them, let me know, and I'll try to find them myself, and then I'll let you have them. Okay? But do try to find them. That's what I'm trying to tell you, people. When you speed read and you use those memory techniques, you remember very important critical details that you need to know. Do you remember a couple of live streams ago? I had the live stream. You couldn't see me at all, but you were able to hear me. And I told you that now is not the time to panic. Now is the time to learn. This is exactly what I was talking about. I want you to learn. I want you to learn now. There will come a time, and we're very close to it, where there will be the days, the haves and the have-nots. Those who learn will have. Those who do not will not. Period. I won't even mince words. I'm telling you. You don't learn, you won't have. End of story. We're coming upon that time very quickly. Okay. All right. I'm heading out and going to sleep. Very good. Do not forget to learn everything I'm teaching you. Go learn it. Good job. Okay, but for the rest of you, I also have one other homework assignment for you guys to do. I'm going to give you another no. Oh, brother. Okay. For those of you still watching, I'm going to give you a link. I want you to go to it. I want you to research it. I want you to go through the whole thing because I'm going to cover it on Sunday. I absolutely will cover this, and you need you guys to learn to know what's in there. Use your speed reading skills, your memory techniques. Well, not your memory techniques, the memory techniques that I showed you from Harry Lorraine. I want you to use that, and the speed reading I showed you. I want you to go through this, and I want you to notice and remember a lot of the details that are in this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the link with you now. All right, I want you guys to go to that link and know this like the back of your hand because I'm going to cover this Sunday. I'm going to cover the whole thing. All right. So that will be part of my presentation on Sunday night. There will be other things I'll do, but that is one of them. Please do this for me. I am asking you. Do this for me. Know this, learn this, because I'm going to cover it. You need to know the facts, and you need to know them now. This is something very important, or I wouldn't say it. You need to know this. Okay. So, anybody have any questions for me? Any feedback at all? I'd love to hear from you. I will say that I'm very thrilled that you guys stayed with me on this, and I hope that you will do exactly what I need you to do. Research this stuff, learn this stuff. I will be presenting other stuff on Sunday. It's going to be shocking stuff you may not have ever heard of. Keep posting the videos, Crazy Josh Cravey. I'll get to them as quick as I can, but there's other thing. Oh, another thing I want you guys to do. I know that it seems silly. I put those remote control symbol videos. Molly Jane Quaddy says, the way you drink reminds me of a hamster. Well, it's a rather complicated situation that I'm in that causes me to have to drink so often, but I do have to drink a lot of water because of the way I have to go through life now. It sucks, but it's just a part of my life. But hey, it is what it is. But with those remote control symbols, any general tips for mentally surviving quarantine? Outside of my original advice to take this time and learn what I'm teaching you guys now, which I do want you to do, please do that. Take the time. I know some of these videos you may not think they pertain to you, but they will. You will learn something out of each and every one of them. I promise you that. Go through my playlist, learn not the parade playlist or the sign playlist, although you could learn something from the sign playlist too, but I'm talking about the mathematics videos, all that other stuff. I would say if you're down, talk to me. Let me know what's going on. I can't help you unless you tell me what's going on. I really can't. I can deal with a situation once I know what the situation is. Don't be as mindless as some of these people that are going to be sitting there. Watching television in itself is not a bad thing, but if you are spending hour after hour after hour watching mindless television, that's not healthy. That is not healthy at all. I would rather you watch me than watching that much television. Go ahead, pick a couple of 3 programs. Enjoy them. I'm glad you do. But like I said, don't stand there and spend all your time watching nothing but mindless television. That's what these people are doing, and that's why they're going to find themselves eventually unemployed. I'm telling you that. It won't happen right away, but it will happen. Do you think that Comcast is going to continue to give away free internet like they've been doing? To answer that question, Audrey Young asks, is Tiger King mindless television? To answer that, I would have to actually watch the program. I've never seen Tiger King. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. I'm trying to think of some really mindless television that I've watched over the years. I can tell you, honestly, you have to keep in mind that I watched the original Ghostbusters way back when, and Airplane way back when, and I even watched the Naked Gun movies. And although I can see the progression of them going down, when the first Naked Gun movie, okay, I like to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Again, that's something I have never watched. I can't. I can tell you the Kardashians would be about as brain dead as you can get. I wouldn't watch the Kardashians for nothing. I've watched them a couple of times, like, oh man, this is terrible. But when I think of sophisticated, like a sophisticated movie or something like that, when you watch the movie Airplane with Leslie Nielsen in it, you have your attention span, your focus is so direct because there are so many jokes going off one after the after. Even in the final credits of the movie, you really have to watch every single final credit because there is just one joke after the next in them. Do you ever watch Bill Nye Saves the World? No, I can't say I do. I can't say I do. But when you watch the movie Airplane, you see one joke after the next, which causes your mind to be very focused, and you just pick up on this stuff. Boom, 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 boom. I don't see the same thing in Bridesmaids. That's one of the things that really annoyed me about Bridesmaids. Is that there was no focused jokes at all. It was just lame, just totally lame. And I'm like, oh, come on. Why don't you do like you did with the movie Airplane and just lay in that thing? You have to really focus to catch all the jokes. You can't just watch it one time. It doesn't work that way. You have to watch it over and over again. If you'll watch the Police Squad episodes that led up to the Naked Gun, same thing. You really have to focus. They're just throwing the jokes at you right and left, and you really have to pay attention. That's intelligent humor. What you find in Bridesmaids is a lot slower, not really involved. You don't really get involved. You don't get intense with it. It's just, that's why it's like, it's totally lame. Okay. One of the jokes I really liked, it was in a movie called Not Another Teenage Movie. It was when they started singing about Janie. That took me by surprise. I like, that's a funny. Now, some of the jokes they had in there were just totally lame, but that one was funny. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That was funny. But you watch some of these movies, and I will eventually give you examples of this. Watch some of my reviews of some of my, I do reviews of songs. Watch some of them, and you'll notice the difference between Take the Long Way Home by Supertramp as opposed to trying to think. I criticized Carly Rae Jepsen. I criticized her twice. There was one song by Genevieve that I criticized. Why? Because she was portraying something about hitchhiking that you can't do anymore. Do you know that hitchhiking is illegal in Illinois and probably in just about every other state you can think of, except maybe Happy California? I don't know what California is like, but I can tell you what, in Illinois, you try to hitchhike in Illinois, you're going to jail. That's the way it works. And to stand there and portray it as something that's normal and, hey, go for it, you don't want to portray something in your song that actually is illegal and can get you thrown in jail. That's not smart. See what I mean? And it's stuff like that. That is truly mindless, because kids get this idea that they can go hitchhiking and then they find out, hey, why am I in jail? Well, you're in jail because you didn't read the law. The law says clearly you don't hitchhike in this state, period. And to put that in a music video was wrong. There was that one band, they do a Flames, the song Flames. I'm sure you guys have heard the song Flames. Very good song. I love the video as well. Very good. That's a really good song. The other one I'm trying to think of, is Call Me Sir. Now, you compare Flames to Call Me Sir, you will find that Flames is good to watch. Call Me Sir is a pathetic piece of garbage. I wouldn't call him sir. I don't care who he's with. I still wouldn't call him sir. Quite honestly, I would have nothing to do with this guy, regardless of who he's with. Period. It just wouldn't happen. Because that song is just silly. It's absolutely stupid and silly. It really is. So, but you have to have that contrast. Okay? The contrast is Flames versus Call Me Sir. And if you get that contrast, you'll get it. And that's why I liked Flames, but I did not like Call Me Sir. One of the things that you have to keep in mind is that I like complex songs. Really, I do. As I have stated before, I am a big fan of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. If you guys have never heard it, you need to listen to it. And don't just listen to it once. Listen to all of its complexities. You'll find that same kind of complexity in Flames. You'll find it in Vacationer did a song, Good as New. Very good song. I love that one. There's a couple of songs. There's actually 3 songs by Lissy that her band name is Lissy, and she did 3 songs brilliantly. The first one was I'm trying to think of the names of the songs because there was 3 of them. There was the Fashion Police song. That one was good. Don't You Give Up on Me. That was another very good song. And The Habit as well. Very good song. Very complex. Very you really had to think about them. And the melodies, the harmonies, they worked very well. They were brilliant. But then I have heard other songs that just like it's like there's nothing to connect to. There's nothing to evoke an emotional response from these things. And if you'll listen to, I'll give you some good examples of good songs. ABBA, The Winner Takes It All. I wouldn't say Waterloo so much. Waterloo's a pleasant song, but it's not really all that complex. Eagle, there was a good song. Man, that was thick music. Very good. And if you listen to the complexities of those melodies, another song, Samantha Sang, and I will review this one of these days. Samantha Sang, the song, I forget the title of the song, but you look up Samantha Sang, and you'll find it. The Bee Gees backed her up, and very big time melodies and harmonies. I like Streisand more than I like Celine Dion. And the reason why is Barbra Streisand worked with Barry Gibb and formulated good songs, very, very good songs. And they had complex melodies and harmonies and whatever, and you had to think about the material that was in the songs, the whole 9 yards. Celine Dion focuses too much on her voice and not about the song that she's singing. I've criticized her twice for this. Happy Xmas had a deeper meaning, and she did not explore that until her husband died. Then she explored it. When she first did it, she did not get into the deeper meaning of the song. The reason why it's played the way, I'm sorry, I got that confused. It's not Happy Xmas. She changed. It was oh my gosh, All by Myself. She actually, because her husband died, All by Myself took on a whole new meaning for her, and she did it a lot better after her husband died than before he did. She just didn't get the full meaning of the song. Once her husband died, she got it, and finally she sung it right. But you have to sing it in a dark undertone because that's the way the song is. And if you get that contrast, you get it. Listen to Eric Carmen and then listen to Celine Dion. You'll get the difference right off the bat. So are you seeing what I'm trying to tell you here? Whew. As you get into more sophisticated material, as I present more stuff to you people, you will begin to realize quality of music, quality of jokes, quality of this, quality of that, and you'll begin to see the difference. And once you get into that, you'll have a greater appreciation of the things I'm giving to you guys. You really will. Anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. I think you guys have learned quite a bit. And that's what this whole channel is about, is to learn. And I think you'll begin to realize as you contrast what I'm trying to tell you, you'll get it. And I'll be thrilled when you do. Woo! Yeah. I tell you, I get worn out doing this kind of stuff. But I'm glad to do this. And I'm glad you guys were able to watch. You tuned in. You sat there. You let me teach you the good stuff, the really good stuff. And I think you can understand my perspective of this kind of stuff. Why I would say some of the things I do. I'm trying to get you guys into higher paying gainful employment where you don't have to worry about your retirement. You don't have to worry about your bills. You could just go through life and you'll be fine. You know what? You can actually have 2 careers at the same time. You literally can. I don't care who you are. You can have 2 careers simultaneously. I have my YouTube career. I have my retail career. Same time. Don't tell me it can't be done, because I can do it. And I've been doing it. So you don't have to give up one for the other. When I was a kid, that wasn't possible. Today, it is. And I want you to have as much as you can get. I don't want any of you on Poor Street. Not one of you. I want you on Rich Avenue. And I'll try to get you as far as I can. Do what I say, and you will make it. If I have to, I'll walk you every step of the way. I'll take you every step of the way. Why, like I said, why do I want you to learn Italian? To learn Latin. Why do I want you to learn Latin? To be able to read books like this without having to look every single word up in the dictionary. I can read something like this. Can you? And I'll say it again, the title of this book is The Greco-Roman World of the New Testament Era by James S. Jeffers. You should be able to read a book like this in 2 to 3 weeks, absorb 80% of the material. That's what I want to get you to. So, that's my goal, and I'm going to keep right on at it until I get it done. You walk 10 feet with me, I'll walk a mile with you. I promise you that. I'll not stop until you make it. Woo! Well, again, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight. I didn't think I'd do this live stream for this long. I really didn't. But I'm thankful that you guys decided to join me and to watch this with me. Unfortunately, I do have to go to work tomorrow night. You will see the live stream on Sunday. Like I said, a portion of that live stream will be about the material I covered. I told you to go look up that Hannity thing. I want you to look that up. I want you to be prepared because I'm going to give you some homework on that one. I want you to learn this stuff because it's important. I want you to understand what's going on and why you need all this education. Those who learn have. Those who don't, won't. Period. That day is coming. And you can see it right in front of you. You want to be the haves or the have-nots? Choose, but choose wisely. All right. You guys get a good night's sleep. There will be no live stream tomorrow because, like I said, I do have to work. But Sunday night, I will do a live stream, and I will cover very important details that you need to know, and you need to know them now. Okay? Thank you very much for tuning in. Do watch those remote control videos that have been popping up. They've been popping up routinely. The main reason I want you to watch those things is because if you have let me tell you something. Comcast came out with Flex. We have Roku. We have Amazon. You think it's real easy to operate those things. Try that with a senior citizen and see how it goes. I've worked with senior citizens. They don't go so well. That's why I teach the way I teach. You need to do the same thing. Take what I've done and do it with your senior citizens. If it's not your parents or your grandparents, find a senior citizen center and walk in knowing what I have taught you. You can take my videos if you want. Take it right to them. Because eventually there won't be any more set-top boxes. This is just the beginning. Eventually there will not be any more set-top boxes. And when they don't have that anymore, they're not going to be able to watch their TV. You really want them to not be able to watch their TV anymore? I don't think so. So you say, well, how are they going to eliminate it? They're going to make the cable boxes, the set-top boxes, they're going to make them more and more expensive to rent until you can't afford it. That's how they're going to do it. You're like, son of a buck. That's how they're going to do it. You either pony up the bucks or you don't get it. After a while, there won't be any demand for it anymore, and they'll be gone. It's up to you. So, watch all those videos. And I want to thank you guys very much for watching me. I was glad to do this tonight. I'm glad that YouTube got their senses back in gear so I can actually do a live stream without that freaking software that I had to use. And I think we had a pretty good session tonight. I will tell you more in a future video. Who in the heck is this? I don't know this person. I'll ignore him. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm glad you all tuned in. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.